Hello everyone, my name is MJ Vilches and welcome to part 5 of our The Labyrinth comic cinematic creation live stream series. In this part, we're going to be doing some animation and also share to you guys more about rendering because I get a lot of questions from rendering from my one of my most popular tutorial, the render tutorial. So yeah, we're gonna be tackling on some of the questions there, probably. But yeah, for this part, for this artwork, by the way, uh, we're working on a scene from chapters 19 to 20 of book 2 of the Underland Chronicles. And yep, there's gonna be some spoilers in this stream. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. So far, this is my progress. I already did the fills for the other characters in our scene here, just not the shading yet. But yeah, I'm not gonna be focusing on that because I've already shown many times how to do that on a character, which is kind of the same. It's just the same thing over and over again. So I'm gonna select the camera here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the animation first, and then I'm gonna try to do a test. I'm just gonna share some knowledge on rendering. So we have our camera right here. What's gonna happen here is there's gonna be first we're gonna do the camera animation, and then I'm gonna try and animate the characters if needed. So what's gonna happen here is we're gonna show first the cave, and then Twitch, the dialogue from Twitch Tip will say that it's this way, directing the others, and then she shows up. And Gregor shows up with a flashlight, and then we just hear them like grunting. Aries, kind of like struggling to crawl through this tight tunnels, because that's something that the bats can they hate it, especially giant bats like Aries. And it looks like Aries has entered the chat. Hey there, Mbuddy, welcome to the stream. And yeah, we're gonna do some animations. So first, I want to determine the last frame, or the gourd, the shot that will show most of the labyrinth right here. Let me just Alt R the camera here, Alt X90, so that the rotation is not manipulated in any way. And I just want to find like a nice spot here that shows most of the cave, because this is going to be like the middle like the main shot, the main frame, that where everyone is visible and the whole scene is visible. So I'm just gonna go add a keyframe by pressing I, and then I'm gonna add a keyframe for location and rotation for the camera. I'm gonna check auto key, and this should just record our animation when we make some changes. So I'm gonna make another workspace here, general. I'm gonna make an animation workspace, so we have animation visible here on the other screen, and this is where we're gonna be manipulating stuff. So I'm gonna go to the first frame here, and I'm gonna go really zoomed in here. I'm gonna move that way. Maybe I'm gonna go show this part right here. So she's gonna move back. It's gonna look great, because everything's have different locations in 3D space. And this is just an initial animation, by the way, because we still need to retime this when we add the sound, which is something that I'm not going to be showing here. She's going to be focusing on animation. And the best practice actually is to record the sound first, so that you can time it right away. But I did not have time to do the sound and the dialogues for this one yet. So as you can see, it's looking great. We see the cave. Twitch tip should. I'm gonna animate Twitch tip a bit. Maybe I can animate her like moving forward like this. And on the x-axis. Then I need to bring her back here. So that may not have that much of an effect though. So I'm gonna add a keyframe for Gregor right here, where we added our main shot. Main shot should be this. Can add a keyframe for him, location rotation. And he'd be moving forward. The light should be parented to him. No, cancel, Control S. So select the light, select Gregor, Control P, object, keep transform. I'm just gonna move him towards the front a bit and move him like so. And I'm gonna move him back, move him back. And we're gonna be animating the flashlight there as well. Looks like Gregor did not show up there quickly than I wanted. But then again, we're still going to retime this. Gregor needs to be visible. Like after Twitch tip, he should immediately be visible right here. So I'm going to have to move this forward a bit more. Go to the x-axis. And move this to the x-axis. Move him forward a bit. And there we go. Now for Aries. And Aries shows up. And we're going to animate Aries here. So that at the last frame, his whole body would cover the... So maybe I can go down. I'll go down here. And maybe we can scale Aries here so that everything is covered here. Let's see how that looks. Oh, we didn't add a keyframe for Aries' scale here. And now it did. But doesn't look good. Just gonna go bring him back here. Just a keyframe. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Never mind, we're not animating Aries like that. Probably not move it back like this. We're probably gonna end up just just fading it out. No. Don't scale it. Just move them. Just gonna move Gregor here even more to the front. Twitch tip even more to the front. No. We must not. So let's see. Camera needs to seem like it keeps on moving. I'm gonna try going further here. Let's see how far we can go. And I'm probably gonna move all the keyframes for each of the characters right on that frame away from the end so that they don't look like they're going to stop. Then I'm gonna move them more like that. Oh, we lost Twitch tip. Twitch tip has gone through the floor. Okay, there's this. I don't want that. We're gonna fix that later. Yeah, there we go. Now the last bit that I'll animate here is the flashlight. So maybe it goes up a bit, indicating that Gregor's walking. Then it goes down. And it goes up. Goes down. And then it whips to this entrance. Maybe. So I want that flashlight to whip to that part, indicating where they're going. After Twitch Tip says that they're going there. Yep. Twitch Tip learned to no clip. And then I guess goes down a bit. And goes up. And then it goes down. I could probably use noise to do this. But you know what? Let's just do it manually. So that looks nice. Or not. I might have to reanimate the flashlight off streaming, but for now, that looks great. So animation for a comic cinematic and not that difficult. I think it's just mostly camera motion anyway, and then a few a few animation on the other elements. But yeah, right now it is looking great. I think for so far it looks decent. But there's definitely gonna be some refinements later on after I record stuff and add sound to this. Yeah, now we can move on to rendering. So yeah, this is not gonna be a long stream because we are tackling some really pretty simple stuff here. Just a quick, easy animation, nothing too complicated. Just animating the camera, flashlight, and other characters here. And now we can do a render. So for the render, I'm probably for the stream I'm probably gonna do a viewport render instead of a actual render. Let's see how long that takes. But yeah, in rendering your animation, just make sure that as I said in the tutorial that I made, just make sure that everything is ready. Like you're sure that the animation is fine. It's done. You already like it. And Everything else is nice and set in the right direction. So yeah, for the grease pencil 2D animation stuff, uh, I think the render agent is supposed to be Eevee. I'm not sure what happens if you switch it to cycle. Probably nothing. But Eevee is already great. And Mbuddy, portal map. You didn't finish any portal map yet. What are you talking about there? Anyways, I am going to do a quick render. So there are two things that you need, that you want to decide before. There's one thing that you need to decide before rendering. Like if if you've determined that everything is ready. So when rendering, oh wait, so right now we're in animation, and for rendering, you need to be in the rendering workspace. And if this is not there, all you have to do is just, press this plus button, add workspace, go to video editing, and, add rendering. That's just, let's delete that because that just makes it, we just have a duplicate workspace there. So now that we're in the rendering, we're gonna be, I think this is this render properties tab. It's Eevee's already great. Everything else, you don't need to press anything there. If you have a background that's supposed to be transparent, just check. Let's go to film here and check transparent, so that your background is transparent. And you have to make sure that you render it in the right format for the background to be transparent. It won't be transparent if you are if you render it into a video that is an MP4. So, just take note of that. If you want to save the background, if you want the background to be alpha, what you can do is you can just select the container as QuickTime, and then the video codec to be QT animation, and then this RGBA color comes out. Just select that, and that would render the video or anything that you render in Blender with alpha on. But we're not gonna do that. First, we're gonna render as a PNG sequence. So I've selected PNG here, and I'm gonna select a folder where I'm gonna save it. So I'm gonna save it for now on render, Blender, raw, art. I'm just gonna create a new folder here for the Labyrinth. And I'm just gonna do something like this. The Labyrinth TL raw. So that's the name. Make sure you accept. Make sure you press enter or accept when you select the folder, or you add a name like that. Because if you just do this, select this folder, and then you and then you cancel. Oh, it cancels it. It doesn't say the folder. Just make sure you press accept. So we have that nice and set up. Since I want to be doing a viewport render, what I'll be doing is I'm gonna go back here, make sure that I'm in the 3D viewport that I want to render. I'm gonna go to this like 3 lines right here. I think if this is in the full view, this will be gone. Nope. Yeah, because just like here, it's like expanded, but this here, it's not. But if this is not out, it's just it functions the same. This is just minimized version. We can also do the same here. Select the view, but we want to render this viewport, so I'm gonna select here view, viewport render animation, and this should render fast. And we're just gonna wait for that to render. And right now it's saving a bunch of PNG sequences on the folder where I determined it would save. So it's let me just show to you guys what's happening here. There we go. I've saved it in render, Blender, raw, I think, art, the Labyrinth, and it saved our PNG sequence right here, all 250 frames of it, because our render's just done. So I'm gonna go back to Blender here. Our render's done. Hey there, Cyber Grand. Welcome to the stream. I'm currently showing ways to render, and I've just rendered this animation as a Png sequence. So we've rendered it. Png sequence is now in the folder where we set it. Now I can go. What I usually do is I go File, New. I go video editing when I want to render this. When I want to render the animation, the Png sequence into a video format. So I go File, like I showed you, and video editing, and we're gonna have a video editing workspace here. And then since I've set the animation to the default settings here, I don't have to change this. But if you have a different resolution and a different frame rate, you make sure that you change that before importing your clips, just so that there are no out of sync stuff that's happening to you. So, if you're wondering why your video is out of sync, it's probably because you did not set this right. So I'm just gonna go Shift A, Image Sequence, and I'm gonna go to the raw folder, which usually if you render and you set the folder, usually in the recent folder here, it shows up like at the topmost part. So as you can see, it's right here, and all of my renders. And the raw folder, the folder that I set up, is right here. Hey there, JStudio PH. Welcome to the stream. So what I'm doing to import the image sequence is that I went to the folder where I saved it, and then I press A, and then I add image strip, and it would just add our animation right here. So now we can render this into a video format. And since the animation is also set to default, I don't have to change like the duration of the start and the I just don't need to set the duration. If you have an animation that's longer than 250 frames, or it's shorter, you make sure you change the end frame so that you don't end up rendering, like, for example, if you only have 50, you don't end up rendering like a short, like, for example, if your animation is only up to here, if you don't set the end frame, it will render from here to there, to the end, to the 250th frame. So, it's one of the things you need to take note of. So we have our clip imported here. I'm gonna Control S. I'm just gonna save this. Labyrinth, the vid. I always call my Blender projects that I use to, to render image sequences to video like this. I always name it like that. So I'm gonna save it. And then I'm also going to set the folder here. I'm going to put it on the Labyrinth folder right here. Call this stl_raw. I'm not going to be using this for the final animation, by the way. This is just a tutorial thing. So we have our animation here. Nice. Now the only thing we need to do on the video editor is, of course, not only thing, the final thing is before rendering, is we need to set the file format, of course, to FFmpeg video. That's usually the format that I use. CyberGrant, I don't actually use the GPU for rendering. I set it. Wait, let me just show you. You probably can't see it. So, we go to Blender here. Let's see, is that displaying properly? Oh, it just shows the file explorer. Never mind. I'm gonna go screen all here, just so I can show you my settings. I'm not using a GPU for rendering. I turned it off recently because when rendering my a film that I'm working on, there's a thing about the blend file that's causing some problems with the GPU, I guess. But it's back to that problem at least. But yeah, this is my GPU right here, GTX 1650, and I have an AMD Ryzen 5 3600. I guess I can check that now since I'm done with the shot that I worked on. But yeah, this is it. This is my setup, and I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is a new PC build that I just recently built, which allows me to be able to do that quick render. So yeah, now we keep going. I just need to turn off screen all here so we're focused in Blender. So as I said, we need to go PNG. Oh, not PNG. You need to set this to FFmpeg video. That's probably the best file format when you want to render the videos in Blender. like render into a video format. So encoding, I'm usually select H.264 in MP4 here in the presets. So with Blender, when you select one of the presets, this drop down list does not go away. So when I click, it's still there, but it already selected H.264 and MP4. So you can just move away your mouse and then it goes away. And now it's MPEG-4. A while ago it was Matroska, which is a .mkv format. But we're rendering in a .mp4 format. But yeah, I wanted to do an AMD build actually for this. This is actually my first PC build, and I'm glad that it turned out great. Like there were no issues when building it. Yeah, I built this one and decided on the parts myself based on the budget that I had. But anyways, we keep going. Output quality, I always for like render preview stuff, I set this to medium quality. But for like, I think for like lossless, high quality stuff, perceptually lossless works. This is probably the output quality doesn't cause any kind of issues on other like software that you're using. So, and it's also already looking really good. I also used this on a client work once, and it's fine. They don't have any issues with it, and it's rendering and it's showing animal in a very high quality thing. So well, perceptually lossless set here. If we have audio, we can set this to AAC, but since we don't, I'm just gonna set that to no audio. Like if you have an audio, put here. AAC is the right format. That's the that's just the standard format for MP4 videos, especially if you were planning to upload it on some platforms like YouTube. So we have all that set. Everything is set here in the rendering. Most of the settings you'll change is right here anyway. We set a folder, which you actually, I realize you can't see the window that pops out. So I'm gonna have to show that. Let's go back to Blender, and when you press this folder right here, this window pops up, the File Explorer window, where you then select your projects. I realized this wasn't showing because I'm doing a screen. I did not display all of my screen because I don't have a dual monitor setup yet. But anyways, that's it. When you press a folder, or cancel if you press a folder, and also if you Shift A and add image sequence here, it brings out the File Explorer where you can then find the files and stuff, and then where you also can select the folder where you want to save. So I'm just gonna save. I'm gonna save right here. Looks like I saved the. Oh wait, it's fine. It's fine. The one that's showing mouse clicks, it's actually an OBS add-on that I use. It's called I forgot what it's called. What was it called again? It's an input overlay. Input overlay is what it's called. I think it's an add-on for OBS where you can you can put it here and manipulate its position. It's not in Blender, although there is a screencast add-on in Blender, but this one I like it because it displays everywhere else besides Blender. Like, so that I don't have to set up some screencast keys. So there we go. We've set the format, set the folder. Now we can just go and go to render here, press render animation or control F12. So render animation. It comes out at the bottom here, but it's fine. I'm just gonna let this finish, which is it should be quick. It should be quick. And on my previous rig, which is just a laptop, I cannot do this on a stream. It will lag. Hopefully it's not lagging now. But right now, the computer's not lagging. This is not the case before when I'm still using the laptop. And it's done. So now I can just go to the folder where I saved it, which is already opened right here. We can view it. And there we go. A rendered video from Blender, which you can actually upload on YouTube without any problem. So there we go. I still need to add sound to this. Probably retime the animation to, to be timed with the sound. But yeah, right now this works. It's awesome, and yeah, that's how I do the animation, and how I render my animations in Blender. And yeah, that concludes. That's it. That's it for the stream. That's it for animation and rendering, and the Labyrinth. I will be publishing this on my main channel because, yeah, that's the main channel. And yeah, production stage for the Underland project is done. I think I'll be officially announcing it later. But yeah, it's done. I'm done rendering the last shot, which caused a lot of rendering issues. That's why I have to turn off GPU. But yeah. This is it. This is the Labyrinth. I'm probably gonna be streaming another part tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow's the last day for this, actually, because this is my entry for this month for the Underland Project Art Challenge. I mean, Underland Chronicles Art Challenge. But yeah, if I'm ever going to stream tomorrow, it's probably gonna be video editing and adding sound and stuff, which I'm probably gonna be using HitFilm. IG link. I think it should be in the description. I think I have the Instagram link in the description below. Not sure though, but then again, I'm not that active in Instagram. I do have a Discord server where I'm mostly active. But yeah, I do post there some major announcements sometimes, and this animation is actually going to be posted there as well. The final animation of it. I do have a bunch of the previous comic cinematics that I did was uploaded there as well, and also on my main channel, which should also be in the description below, the link. So yeah, that's it. This is animation and rendering in comic cinematic in Blender. If you guys have any questions right now in the live stream, you can ask there, you can chat. I'm pretty sure your chats are visible on the video, but then again, this is YouTube, and you can just look at the chat on the right side of the screen, on the right side of the browser you're using. I'm gonna go back to, you can turn off screen all here. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you're not watching the stream, you have any questions, just comment below. And yeah, if what more? There's really nothing more we can do here. I can just maybe add shading for these characters because they look really flat right now, which is pretty easy to do. We just have to go back to the main project here. I can just select Gregor here. I can add like an effect. There's an effect for grease pencil objects called the rim that I really like using so much. So day 4 Blender, the first thing you need to remember when you're a beginner in using Blender, I mean, the first thing you need to determine is what is it that you want to do with Blender. Do you want to make like short films with it? Short 3D animated films? Do you want to just make 3D models? Do you want to do VFX? Because it varies so much whether what you want, it varies so much what the first thing you need to do. It depends on the thing, your goal on making. What's your goal with Blender? So first determine whether you want to do VFX, 3D animated films, just 3D models, or doing this 2D animation in Blender. And yeah, it depends. So And after determining that, you can then it's probably going to be easy to determine what you need to do first. JStudio PH, the software that I'm using for recording is OBS. This is actually a very popular screen recording used by many streamers and and other content creators. It's free. It's 100% free. I think it's open source. It's like Blender, so if you love Blender because it's free and it's awesome, then you're also gonna love OBS because it's free and it's awesome. But yeah, Cybergrand. Determine first what your goal is, whether you want to make a 3D animation, 3D animation. If your goal is to make 3D animated films or to make a, there's even a different approach when you're aiming to make games with it, because you can't really make games with just Blender alone. You're going to be using many different softwares for that. But yeah, if you're aiming for making 3D animated films, I think the first thing you need to learn to do, like in Blender, is to study modeling, 3D modeling first. I think first is 3D modeling, learn to model stuff in Blender, learn to model a character in Blender, and then after that, learn the texturing. This 3D modeling involves sculpting and stuff. So for this thing, for animation, I'm using. For doing this 2D animation, comic cinematic thing, I'm using a Wacom PTS2, Intuos PTS2, I think. Let me just check that. Maybe I need to screen all here just so you can see. So this is my Wacom Intuos PTS2, I think, is what it is. How do you really see it though? Maybe I can open Specky here. Check. Let's see peripherals. I don't think it shows here though. Yeah. I don't think it shows the brand. But yeah, I think it's a Wacom PT. Wacom Intuos PT. Wait. Sure. Okay, internet's pretty slow right now. Yeah, PTS, maybe. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this is my tablet that I'm using right now. Wacom Intuos PTS2, I think. Yeah. And I'm using a mouse and keyboard, just generic ones, the mouse, when you're using Blender, you need a mouse that has a middle click because it makes working with Blender really easy. The middle click is like a very, zoom in and out, and then if you middle mouse button, you can rotate right here. You can see my screencast doing the you can see my screencast on on what I'm clicking. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the stream. To Cybergrand, to Mbuddy, and to JStudio PH. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna be probably streaming I'm not sure if there's gonna be a part 6. It's probably gonna be a surprise part 6. But for now, the thing that I want to share for this project, the Labyrinth. I think I've shared everything already. I've showed rendering, animation, not really animation. I have a bunch of content in this channel showing many other projects that I did, just some short animations, especially for the Underland Chronicles and the Underland project, which is, the Underland project episode 1 is entering post-production stage, and I'm going to be sharing stuff about that. Yeah, I think that's all for now. Once again, thank you so much to everyone who was on the live stream. I also want to give a huge thanks to those who supported me through KoFi, to Handsomeness, Jubin, yaejinssi, Erick Madrigal, Fritz, to Elizabeth Munie, Magnolia Weathershield, CQ Star, Jane, Tristan Wintle, Mbuddy, and GulliermoGage. Thank you so much. They supported me through ko-fi.com/doodlenoseproductions. I could show you how it works here. But yeah, they supported me through that. And if you want to support me in all my endeavors, this is the best way to do it. KoFi. If you want to see more stuff, and if you don't want to see me stop doing it, consider supporting me there. I do have a KoFi shop where you can buy some of my 3D models, or just download it for free, because it's pick your own price thing in KoFi. And yeah, follow Doodle Nose Productions everywhere on the internet. Once again, thank you so much, Cybergrand, Mbuddy, JStudioPH. Thanks for watching the live stream, and to you who watched the video up to this point. Hopefully I've shared enough knowledge to you that will allow you to make your own, comic cinematics too. So yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. My name is MJ Vilchas. Yeah. Bye.